Good evening, gentlemen. Hey, I know that probably most of you were sitting out there thinking today that that video that went up earlier was awesome, and that you'd love to see more of those. So hey, why not the same day? Let's go ahead and get another one out to you guys. Just some thoughts that I was having today. I know I spend every week now. We're talking about where Bitcoin ended the week, what we can expect from it during the week, daily, etc. Let's look a little further out in the future here, kind of keeping in line with our conversation going back to the monthly. Um, and I can't remember when we talked about this originally, but as far as that part goes, kind of looking at this, we're like, all right, well, if we can maintain this kind of upward trajectory right here, then ultimately maybe we're a few months away from reclaiming levels up here. Maybe slop sideways for a few months. We'll see what happens, but kind of something that I thought was at least worthy of taking a look at. So when I was looking today at some different options as far as how this particular pattern may play out, came across something that I actually really liked. And I think that at the end of the day, it's following it fairly closely. I think this point is probably the one that's the closest, although this one could work too. But basically, so we've got this Elliott wave here, and essentially it's just, I mean, you could come to this website if you want and take a pretty close look at it. But short version, Elliott waves, you've got all these different versions, right? You've got this expanded corrective wave, basic cycle structure, et cetera, et cetera. Well, here's the 8-wave bearish cycle here. But you can see school.stockcharts.com if you want to take a closer look at it. But basically what we've got here, we've got this downward area here. Typically, if this was a rounded bottom pattern, it would have just held and we would have gotten some pricing action right here. We would come back over to this other side. This right here, as far as I'm concerned, is a bear fake, or well, not a bear fake, a bear trap or a fake out. Everybody would have flipped bearish the second that it lost this support. Boom, we spend some time down there. Bears get excited, and then we're going to turn it around on them here. And I think that might actually, at the end of the day, be what we've got going on. Let's just click back and forth real quick, and you can take a look. Downward action. You've got, like I said, this would have typically held up right here based on at least the way this looks. It's not perfect, but this should have held up right here and given us a bounce here. However, it did not. It never came back and retested this level. So this is essentially a fake out, a trap for the bears, because they would have loaded up as soon as it lost this level. Yeah, so we've got this coming back in. Now let's take a look on the flip side here. We've got, I pointed to these two areas here. So look at that. And I'll compare those to this area here. That's basically this and this. So my expectation is, over the next few days here, we're going to return back to this level. If we flip back over to this chart, we're probably looking at something in this range over the next several days, or however long it takes. Potentially to touch all the way back down to 39.7 or so. And if we flip over to this chart here, this is my short-term chart, the one that I use the most often to show you guys. You'll see that I've already got this line right here at 31 or 39.1, which is just above the breakout that we got right here, right? So when Bitcoin turned bullish on us here recently, it broke above that level, retested, and then just took off from there. That would be the level I would expect we would come back and retest, and it's perfectly logical. So yeah, I mean, expect maybe over the next few days we start working our way down through sections 1, 2, and 3 with maybe some downward, upward price action until we get here, at which point I think we should get a more sustained recovery to the upside and essentially just continue on through this pattern, essentially hitting these targets here. Let's go back. So that's, ballpark, that's approximately, like I said, 39.7 there. Maybe this comes up and this is 46,000, 43.5. Maybe this is 41.5 here, 51, 48, 54, 51. And then I expect that this would be the finale of Bitcoin for this bull cycle. And if it plays out the way that it is right here, I'm marking this. I'm telling you right now, the Bitcoin bull market potentially ends as soon as just after tax day. What a surprise! People taking people taking their profits and potentially closing out some positions. And if for anybody that saw the market last year, Bitcoin actually topped out on April 15th, almost to the day. So, yeah, I mean, it would make perfect sense for us to come back and end sometime in April. So, expect that these next 2 months should be loaded with fun. And ultimately, we may still have fun coming down here and shorten the market. But man, that's what I'm looking at right now. Hope you guys enjoy it.